Okay, first one of these for a while. This is the last game of the playoffs, in which my Skaven, Oceans 13, are facing Raging's Chaos Dwarfs, and I need a draw to make the playoffs, and he needs to win to make the playoffs, which is pretty exciting. My team's pretty awesome. I got a Sprint 2 Head Strength 1, so my Gutter Runner got Strength 1, and I've got 2 Strength 2s, and then a Strength 3 Gutter Runner, all named after people from Oceans 13. It's good to have a theme, and Skaven 13, all that jazz. He's got a load of guards. He's got 4 guard. He's got an Ag 3 tackle blitzer and Bull Centaur, and a block Mighty Blow Bull Centaur. And then apart from that, he's got Wrestle and Sure Hands on the. Oh, I forgot about the Sure Hands. That was relevant later, when he went for a pickup. So, he won the toss. He won the toss and chose to receive and just basically duffed me up, which is fair enough. I started off with the rat ogre on the line and then thought better of it. And then I rolled a blitz, so the ball going there. Obviously, I don't want to overcommit. That would be a terrible idea. But I did just want to send one person forward. So blitzes can be good, often, but can be bad. Here goes the rat ogre. Just fancies popping in there and having a go, because if he can, basically, I was imagining getting a push here and then a pow, and so if the rat ogre was like there-ish, then he could be a right pain in the neck. As it was, he rolled both down and just fell over. And that was pretty bad because he got a touchback, and it meant that my entire gutter runner line was open. The point of this sort of 5 was to protect it. So more sensible play would have been to bring the storm vermin round, bring the thrower up, and then move the gutter runner in and reform the line before hitting with the rat ogre. But I didn't do that. There we go. So yeah, he gives the ball to the Ag 3, uses horns to badly hurt my Strength 3 strip ball gutter runner. But I used the apothecary there because I was just treating this as like a final game, basically, so I don't mind if people die long term. But so badly hurt meant that the gutter runner could come back and play for the rest of the game, which was good. Then immediately I get another badly hurt, so that's another player off the pitch. He goes down. I think he just goes down as well, stunned. And then he fouls the rat ogre to badly hurt as well. So I'm seriously players down. And then I get a double both down, so can't even get that free. So I'm very much in, turn 8. I just want him to score and then try and score back in my turn 8. Basically, go for the 1-turn score. So the question is, how many of my players are going to die? I do go for a couple of things along the way, but because my strip baller is gone, he was like my only hope, unfortunately, because his bull doesn't have sure hands. So all I'm doing here is just trying to survive. Like, that was a 5-up dodge in order to get a 2 dice uphill. So if that had been a double pow, then my gutter runners could have pounced and run away with the ball. But, just got a double push, which is fine. And so he's whittling my players down, and trying not to leave anything, basically. So this Horns guy, he used him really well, just getting the 3 assists, getting for the 3 dice. Claw as well on the Storm Vermin. So for example here again, that was a 1 dice skull into push. If it had been a pow, I'd have had a 2 dice uphill, which I'd have gone for. But because it was only a push, it would have been a 3 dice uphill. So that was no good, especially with the guard there. Dodged out, rolled a 1, through the armor, and she knocked herself out, which made the 1-turner harder, because the 2 heads is obviously brilliant for that. So here I'm just seeing what happens, basically, and see how many players die and how many I've got left. So that was the -1 agility. So that's pretty painful. Kate Blanchett is off, so even if I do make the playoffs, I'm a block sure hands gutter runner down. And obviously the apothecary had gone, but wouldn't necessarily have worked anyway. So very much just staying down here. So I stay down, and he does stuff. And I just don't do anything, and then he scores. So going for the one turner to score back. Ball goes deep. There's a weather change, so the ball went to there, and there was a weather change, so it's a fairly high probability of going off, but didn't happen. So go for it anyway, because it's got the thrower back to get the ball, throw to him, hand off to her, and then hand off to the gutter runner. So that would have been fine. Gets the first push, and the second push, and then the push. So the gutter runner is now in range. So if George can pick up the ball, chuck it to Eddie, and Eddie can pass hand off to Anne, and then it's a 3 up, 3 up, 3 up, 2 up. 2 more 2 ups. So not ridiculous odds. Hard work, but you know, Anne Hathaway. He dreamed a dream. So let's see how that goes. No, failed to pick up. So there we go. Now I am attacking with 9 players against his full team. So he leaves a gap in the middle. So all I'm planning to do here is pile through the middle, basically set up camp in his half. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, so player off the pitch straight away, which is great. He goes down, and then so I'm just moving through, pick up the ball and hand off, and then form a cage, and then yeah, get power. So nothing went wrong there. Cage in his half, and then he does pretty well here. Just engages loads and loads of players, gets all the tackle in the horrible places. That was a really good move. I like that. So Rihanna runs away, 2 up, 2 up. So obviously the tackle is there. So you know if that could have easily gone wrong. Only had 1 reroll for those. But basically now I'm just going to retreat and do the whole sort of Wood Elfy Ag 4 type thing, where it just hangs out in the backfield and then looks for a chance to run forward and either hand off or quick pass. And this is a really good turn actually. Just didn't fail anything. Just lots of 3 ups and just made for quite a nice position. So all I'm doing here is I'm just counting the turns, see how many turns I can go before I score to stop him from scoring back. Again, really nice turn there. So the problem I get here is that this guy is not down. So why wasn't he down? Something went wrong, so that I can knock him down. Right, so this thrower messes up quite badly. Double both downs at the beginning, and then just gets it into a push, which means that I should have pushed to there probably. But basically this hobgoblin is going to be a pain and go for the blitz out. So 3 up. And this is only strength 1 on Rihanna. So that's a bit of a problem. So it might have been better for her to be there. Well, but I didn't know the hobgoblin was still going to be standing, in fairness. So this is the critical point of the match, pretty much. So the... Oh yeah, and Elliot Gould died halfway through, but he'll come back, I expect. So dodges out on a 3, and then has a 3 dice hit. So doesn't get it on the first one, does get it on the second one, does get the both down, but Raging misclicks at this point and takes the power, which means Rihanna lives to fight another day. If it'd gone down there, you know, it wouldn't have been disastrous because Anne could have gone back and get the ball. So it wouldn't have been game over, but it would have been challenging, certainly. Whereas now, that was the last play of the turn, and I've got a gap. So, got the wrestle there, so this person is fairly likely to be going down, 75% chance of going down, and then can just run through there. Handoff. Thinking whether a more sensible handoff. So I could have handed off from there and marked that one, but that would have been stupid. So no, good place to hand off from. That's all fine, and then can just run into the corner. Went for the 1, go for it, just to avoid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just avoid being marked by the bull center, I guess. Although again, that wouldn't have been the end of the world. And then the rest of this is just trying to make it a better situation. So that was a 3 up, 2 up, both of which without dodge. And I rolled a 3 and a 2, which is a nice poetry to it. And then the rest is just like, oh, if this works, great. I've got loads of rerolls. Tremendous. So no threats so far. And then, so I thought push was really good there, but then didn't think that he would go for the dodge. But he did, ag 3 dodge, so he's fine. So this is definitely a threat. So do I score on this turn is the question. So at this point, it all comes down to how many 2+s I want to take. So, and what I was basically thinking was, well, first time I fail a 2+, I score, because to get it safe, I need to pass, I think it's 4 2+s. So what I'm going to try and do is basically get Rihanna on the ball. So that's my first 2+. Because if Rihanna's on the ball, then she's got 2 heads and can just waltz through a single tackle zone. Because basically I knew that he could get a player here, probably this one, and that would make life challenging. So that's, yes, that's 3 2+s made, and one of those was 2. So that's fine. That's the first situation. Then I need to make this 2+, which is fine, because then she can come down there, and then that handoff is all good. So again, anything but a snake eyes would have been fine there. So didn't use a reroll at all. Now can use that to mark here. I don't remember what happens here actually. I think it's a dodge out from the bull centaur. Because I could leave it another turn if I wanted. That makes life slightly awkward. So I might not even have left it another turn. Actually, no. So if I think there's a blitz coming here. If this blitz fails, then I blitz with Anne, push away there, and just come back to the same situation again. Because I'm not worried at all. I'll give him the 6-up dodge in. So the dodge happens there, so that's fine. So that's ag 3, which is fine. Doesn't break armor on, and then just goes there. So I've just got a 2-up score basically, which happily works. So I've still got 3 rerolls, and I've got only 2 turns after this, and he's got all his players. I think I've got 6 players left to try and stop the score. He's got a sure hands hobgoblin there. And then this is the second big thing of the game where we get a riot and the clock moves forward. So he's now got 2 turns to score, which is a bit rubbish for him. So he's got a scoring threat there from Hobgoblin, but basically the other bull is the only other possible scoring threat. So the bull needs to come forward and goes to there. And then follows up, which I don't think I would have done, because that meant that I could block both of the scoring threats. I think that was he didn't make many mistakes in this game, but I think that was one was following up, because it meant that I could block both of the scoring threats. Whereas if I'd only had 1 blitz, then he would have only been able to take out one of them. And then a bit more punching. Picks up with the sure hands hobgoblin and is within range of both the scoring threats, so that's absolutely fine. 3, 4, 5, 6. I was thinking picking up with the bull earlier, but actually didn't realise he had sure hands and is in range of both of them anyway. I'll go for it. Okay. And then marks Rihanna, but that's no odds really. Uses the skull, so I was a bit worried at this stage. So if that had been another skull, I'm blitzing with block on a skillless hobgoblin. But if that had been another skull, then it would have been serious trouble, because then that would have been a 75% chance of a score for him. But that worked. So he went down, and then sploosh. It was nice to get a late game sploosh. So here I'm now thinking I don't block, so that'd be a 1 dice block, which I'm not going to take. But the danger there is the danger of bringing a player into, and Dan's a good enough player that he could have brought the player into there and then blitzed the gutter runner to put the bull centaur free, and then it's a handoff and walk in. As it is, made the throw, which is brilliant. Sorry, made the dodge with the thrower. Comes around to there, and now I've got 2 dice, get the POW, and then that's game over because no one can score. So Rihanna survives the hit, and then the pass fails. So yeah, I got enough money to buy a new gutter runner and a new. So Kate Kate Blanchett 2 and Elliot Gould 2, I think, because they've can't be bothered to find new pictures, to be honest. So Kate Blanchett and Elliot Gould, yeah, good fun. So I hope you enjoyed that one, and come back for the playoffs.